Alright, so today's job is going to be carpeting the rear doors of my VW T4 high top. Now because it's a original high top, it's got the really tall back doors with the big panes of glass inside. I was going to carpet the frame of the doors when I did the rest of the carpeting on the actual van conversion, but I ran out of carpet at the time. I was down to pretty much just scraps, and I didn't want to have to carpet it just with scraps and offcuts. I want nice neat strips going all the way around. I might try and do them all in one and just cut around the window. So we'll have a look and see how I get on with that. So I've already done all the sliding door, and when I did the sliding door I fitted a rubber seal going all the way around in between the carpet and the metalwork, so that it butts up against the actual rubber, just to be sure that the carpet itself was not going to be getting wet in heavy rain or anything like that. And I've been away in all sorts of conditions, and that's never been wet at all, so I might do the same sort of thing on the back doors as well. Just carpet right up to where the rubber seal meets the metal framework, and then, as I said, like I did with the sliding door there, then just Sikaflex a small thin rubber seam going all the way around, joining where the carpet meets the metalwork, which butts up against the actual rubber of the frame. And as I say, then that should just create an even tighter watertight seal against the frame rubber, just to be sure that there should be no water ingress then onto the carpet itself. As I say, that's going to be later on though. First things first, we're going to have to get the door cards off. They've already been carpeted. I did those when I did the wood panelling all the way around, so there is a video on my channel showing how I've done all the rest of the carpeting inside the van, so do have a look on there if you haven't seen all those already. So as I say, first things first, I'll get the door cards off, get the doors open, remove the seal as much as I can going all the way around, just to see exactly where I'm going to have the carpet up to. I'll probably over carpet where the seals are, then draw around where I need to cut back to, and then that should be able to get it nice and neat and flush up to where the seal just sits on the inside of the frame. As I say, I'll show what exactly I'm doing as I'm going along, so it's time to get cracked on and see what the results is going to be. Basic tools required just for doing carpeting jobs, very basic, very simple. You just want some gloves. Obviously you don't want to be getting any of the adhesive on your hands. You want a really sharp knife, ideally with a few blades just in case it starts to dull down. A pair of sharp scissors and high temperature spray adhesive. I can't stress the high temperature part enough. I've always used the trim fix and I've never had any issues with any of the carpets sagging, but if you just use normal standard spray adhesive that's not rated to high temperature, as you can see there, that's 120 Celsius. If you don't buy anything that's rated high enough, the carpet itself will just start sagging, peeling away, this, that, the other. So buy once, buy right. As I say, I'll put a link in the description of the video of where you can buy the trim fix, where you can buy the carpet, this, that, the other. So do have a look in the description, and there'll be links to where you can buy bits and bobs I'm using throughout this video. So time to get cracked on. Right, so that's the door cards off. As you can see, when I was actually repainting the van, I've already painted the outsides of the frames because part of this won't be getting carpeted. As I say, some of it's still going to be bare, so I just wanted to be sure that anywhere that was going to be bare wasn't going to be standing out as white. Anywhere that is white, as I say, will be getting covered in carpet, so that's all fine. Same on the other side, it's just on the outsides and around the outside of the frame. Anywhere that isn't going to be getting carpeted, as I say, that's already been painted over in the same black Rust-Oleum that the rest of the actual van's been painted in. So, cards off. Time to get just a little bit of trim off like that, and that one as well. I'll be able to carpet around the cable work. I'll just put a slit going in and carpet up and under, and you shouldn't even be able to see the join. So as I say, I'll get the little bits of trim off and crack on. Right, so that's all the door trim off. I've pulled that rubber out just to make carpeting around that bit a little bit easier, just because obviously you can't pull the actual full wiring loom out the door just to do some carpeting. I've loosened off the top bits up there as well, just so I can get in and carpet around it and then secure those back on. Same on both sides. I've loosened that one as well, and got the actual retaining brackets off the sides as well. That's just those there. So as I say, that's the door's pretty much stripped now. and ready to start carpeting up. So it's just going to be a case of I'm going to mask up the windows just so I don't get any adhesive on those, because it's just going to be a pain in the ass just to scrape it all off afterwards if I do get any overspray. So I'll mask the windows up, then it's just going to be a case of spraying around and trimming to fit. We'll see how we get on. Alright, so let the fun and games begin. I've got the strip of carpet there, doors all ready, gloves on, got the glue. I do recommend using a mask when using this adhesive as well. It does say on the back it does contain some nasty chemicals, so one of the A1, P2 type filters, they should be fine. You only need to be using it while you're spraying it. The glue itself's quite forgiving, it doesn't go off straight away, so it does give you a little bit of time to get all the carpet up and to rearrange, to move bits and bobs if you need to as well. It doesn't set straight away, thankfully. So, time to get spraying and see what the final result's going to look like. Right, so there's one door pretty much done. I'm not 100% sure how much it actually recorded, because I think the camera I was using was starting to play a little bit of silly buggers. Hopefully it recorded it all, but if not, I'm going to go over it in the same detail on that side. As you can see, that one hasn't been touched at all. This one's had a rough trim going round up to the actual frame of the door. It still needs some trimming down. I've already done this side up into the rubber seal, so as you can see, that's a nice neat fit going all the way up and all the way around. Obviously the door card's going to go on there, so all I need to do now is get into the van, close the door, and then where the rubber runs up against the carpet, I need to get a good marker pen, felt tip pen, something like that, something that will actually be able to draw on carpet reliably. Normal ballpoint pens, they're not the best for drawing on carpet or anything like that. And I say, I need to go all the way around the actual frame where the rubber meets the carpet, mark that, and then get another sharp knife and go all the way around and trim that back, and then that should ensure that the carpet on the door doesn't get wet. But as you can see, it's looking quite nice, quite neat. It's a couple of final trims and that. As I say, this is just pretty much a rough trim and fit, and as I say, it just needs that little bit of refining and fettling here and there. But it's getting there, so there's one door, probably about 70%, 80% done. As I say, it's just a case of now going around, drawing where the rubber is and trimming that back. Right, so you can see where the pen's actually marked up. It hasn't marked it hugely, but just enough, just to see. Nice neat straight line. And I say that's the one that now needs trimming down, and that will give the full outline of where the carpet should nicely meet the rubber. Right, so that's that door pretty much complete. I'm probably going to put a rubber seal on it as well, but if you weren't fussed about doing the rubber seal in between where the carpet meets the metalwork, then that in theory would be pretty much done. It's just a case now of cleaning off on the overspray and a bit of white spirits just on a damp rag, and that'll pretty much all come off as well. Now it's all been trimmed, as you can see, going all the way around the edge, and that's exactly where it should meet up with the seal. So now if we just get in and close the door, and so you can't see any of the metalwork, it's literally touching the seal, but if you just put your finger just behind it, you can just feel the metalwork just behind there, so you can tell it's a really good, really nice tight fit going all the way around the seal where the seal touches the actual carpet. It's looking nice and neat now as well, all the way around the seal for the window. That's all looking nice. It's looking quite nice and neat and quite professional so far. I've just got to put the door trim back on there, and then that's that door completely done. And now I've just got to rinse and repeat and do exactly the same on the other door now. Certainly getting there though. Right, so there's the first rough cut of that door done. I've done a little bit more on this one than I did on the first one initially, just because I knew roughly where the lines were going to be. Like underneath, I knew that was going to be the line for the rubber seal, so that's just been sliced straight into place straight away. And as I say, any of the overspray, just any of that glue, that'll just come straight off with a bit of white spirit. Now again, for the rest of the actual trimming, it's just going to be a case of closing the other door, closing this one, and again just tracing round anywhere that's going to need trimming back. This one shouldn't need quite as much trimming because this one sits more on the inside compared to that one, so as I say, we'll get it all closed up, get it all marked up, see how much trimming's required, and then we should be pretty much all carpeted and done. So it's coming along quite nicely so far. Right, so that's all the markings done. It's pretty quite faint on the camera, but I can see them, that's the main thing. So it should be quite easy just to follow up, all with a good pair of scissors. So that side's a bit more visible. So it's just a case now of peeling any glue back that might have stuck to the metalwork. I didn't spray this one quite as liberally as the last one, so there's going to be a lot less overspray to clean off on this one. So just peel it back to where the line is, as they're cut with a good pair of nice sharp scissors, and that'll get you the outline of where it meets the rubber. Right, so there's the doors all done. It's just a case of cleaning off any overspray with any white spirit now. But other than that, it's they're all looking really nice, really neat, nice and neat all the way around all the seals. I've got the bottom panels on, all the way around the windows. Just looks really nice, really neat. As I say, I'm not complaining about any of this. It's looking really, really nice. As I say, I just need to clean the overspray off, and that just takes some white spirits. That takes 5 minutes to do, if that. I say that's both sides done as well, and again all the way around. Again with the door cards on, it just looks finishes it off. Just shut them up and show you what it looks like from the inside. And that's all the doors shut up. And as I say, I've gone all the way around all of the seals on the inside, as you probably saw earlier on. So all of the carpet goes up to the seal, but if you do peel the seal back and squeeze your finger underneath there, you can feel where the actual carpet ends and the metal begins. So in theory there shouldn't be any water leaks coming in. As I say, I might still look at putting a rubber seal on. I'm going to leave it as it is for now and wait for a really good downpour. If I feel any sort of water around any of the carpet at all, that's when I'll fit a rubber seal like I've done on my sliding door, just where the carpet meets the metalwork, because as I say, I've never felt any dampness on that door at all whatsoever. So if this does suffer any water ingress, I'm hoping it shouldn't. It shouldn't. As I say, it's been cut right up to the rubber, so in theory all the water should run down the other side of the rubber and down and away from the rain gutters. But the only way to find out obviously is just to find out in a really good downpour. But up until that point I'm really happy with this. As I say, it's finished off the rear of the van quite nicely, and when I was away in the winter, the only real area that did suffer any condensation inside was the metalwork on the back doors, because that wasn't carpeted. So now they're all carpeted up, and there should be a hell of a lot less condensation build up. There should only be any sort of build up on the glass, and because I haven't tucked any of the carpet behind the metalwork frame, if there is any condensation build up, it's just going to run straight down and behind that channel. So again, that's another way that the carpet should be staying dry. It shouldn't be getting wet even from any sort of condensation build up as well. So yep, that's how I have carpeted my rear doors. It's the same sort of method regardless of whether it's a tin top or a high top. Obviously just a tin top, it's slightly lower doors, that's all. But for the sake of this cost, I'd say this was 2 by 2 meters worth of carpet, 1 can of the Trim Fix spray adhesive. So online I'll put links to the adhesive, to the carpet, to the gloves, the mask, all that type of stuff in the description, so do have a look in the description below for the links. But I say for the price of this, it's probably cost maybe £20–30 at most to carpet both doors, and it gives it that real nice finished off look compared to just obviously bare metal. So yep, as I say, I'm really happy, really pleased with those, and for the sake of probably around about £30 or so, for the sake of 2 by 2 of carpet and 1 can of the spray adhesive. And as I say, you just need some Stanley blades, ideally a mask as well. So yeah, probably about 20–30 quid, and both doors fully carpeted and looking really nice. So I hope you found the video useful. If you did, do hit that thumbs up button down below, and if you haven't already, do hit the subscribe button as well. I have documented the entire conversion of this van on my channel, so do have a look on my channel. And as I say, if you haven't, do subscribe. I'm going to be updating it still with more jobs to come, and I've just taken on another little project of a Daihatsu Hijet, so I'm going to be making a little micro camper van as well. So I thought I'd get this finished off before I start cracking on with that. But as I say, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and give me a thumbs up if you found the video useful. Thanks for watching. Cheers.